Hey everybody, have you ever been walking and just decided to trip over your own feet just because? Have you ever been carrying a heavy stack of books and whoops, oh there it goes, all down the stairs? Or maybe you were trying to do something really nice and sweet for your mom, dad, boyfriend, girlfriend, maybe brother or sister, and you made them breakfast and suddenly it's all over the floor. Well, hey, we're going to explore today what is the dumbest thing you've seen a player do, part 3. Had a warlock player who was doing this whole edgy, I want to worship the devil thing as a ranger, not a warlock. This had no bearing on his abilities or backstory, he just felt like doing it. My homebrew world has a real, provable pantheon of gods who give clerics their powers. There are also people of faith who worship the idea of one true creator and one true evil, much like Judeo-Christianity. That God with a capital G and the corresponding devil with a capital D are purely faith-based and have never, ever given any mortal any power, vision, clue they exist at all, etc. Their names are Gaius the Creator and Riffelin the Destroyer. So my player decides to openly worship Riffelin, drawing his symbols on the bodies of his kills, proclaiming the end of times, and so on. He prays to Riffelin and gets upset that his prayers are never answered, unlike the party paladin who prays to a real, provable god and gets answers all the time. Eventually his character is killed in combat, and I decide I'm gonna give him some closure. He's visited in this dream-like state between life and death by a shadowy figure who says that it will reveal all the mysteries of the universe to him if he agrees not to be resurrected, because the character intrigued him. PC agrees. The figure reveals itself to be Gaius, the real, true god of everything, and tells the PC that he is both Gaius and Riffelin. There was never another entity. One day when he gets bored of his creation, he'll destroy it. The PC decides he needs to tell everyone this and tries to pull himself back to wakefulness. Recognizing an opportunity for a cool plot hook, I allow him some last words if he rolls well. Nat 20. Well, alright, dude. I guess you get a whole sentence. Now here's the stupid part. He is being cradled by his friends, life slipping away. He's renowned by them for his persistence in his destroyer worship. So he wakes up and he says, "There is only Gaius," and dies. Because he mixed up the two names, it meant to say Riffelin. So now his friends all think he found God in his death, and the player is just sitting there face-palming at his fuck-up. That girl caused a civil war right as we were about to resolve the underlying conflict by using a healing spell because she was horny. That girl had a cleric who hit on every female character or NPC. She had a particular fondness for Aurelia, the guard captain of Neverwinter in our homebrew campaign. Outside of being a disaster lesbian, she barely paid attention and usually just did random things. This generally meant that as our life cleric, she was too busy doing random things to heal us. Miniature civil war is brimming in the streets due to Luskan citizens being homeless after Luskan was destroyed, and both cities struggled for power. Not to mention they had different ideas on how to handle the housing situation. These disagreements began to push the guards of both cities towards fighting as well. Our group was tasked with helping Neverwinter Guard deal with helping with certain tasks to build up their numbers, until we proved ourselves to be good negotiators. Aurelia entrusted us with taking down the opposing guard captain. It takes some time to find their hidden base in the city, and during that time Aurelia herself was ambushed and captured. I talk our way in using the good favor I built up with the people of Luskan to talk with their leader. When we get inside, we find Aurelia beaten and bruised, but not seriously hurt. That girl tried to dash over to heal her, but their leader wouldn't let her. We talk it out, going back and forth until we came to an agreement that war between the two sides would be a bad decision, as we need all the men we can get to fight for the coming disaster that destroyed Luskan in the first place. Logical. At that very moment, right when everything was settled and the conflict was about to be over, Aurelia was about to be freed and the Luskins had agreed to join the fight. That girl says, "All right, while they're all distracted, I'm going to sneak past and use Cure Wounds on Aurelia." She failed the stealth check horribly, which made the Luskin captain believe the whole conversation was just a ploy to free Aurelia rather than an actual truce. In the ensuing fight, every Luskin soldier in that base died, all because one girl couldn't keep it in her pants and had to try and rush in to heal the person who wasn't badly injured and was about to be released anyway. That, ladies and gentlemen, is what we call a toxic player. Surprised you didn't play a bard. My player's hub city is currently under attack by orcs. Last session, they were walking through a section of the city full of low-class housing, looking for any orcs in the area and escorting any survivors to safety. They hear a scream and rush into a house. Inside, they find 2 dead adults and a child surrounded by orcs. They save the girl and get ready to take her to the inner part of the city where a shelter was set up. Problem is, for obvious reasons, she's bawling her eyes out and scared. A nat 1 and a nat 2 to try to calm her down later, and the barbarian decides that the best way to get this small child to stop crying is to cram the handle of his great axe down her throat. She fails her save not to suffocate, homebrew I have, and she immediately suffocates. A few rounds later, and 1 PC is dead, 1 is dying, and the sole survivor is going berserk, cursed ace, and is standing over the stabilized but unconscious girl. Okay, I just want to know how a little girl got stabilized after an axe handle got shoved down her throat. Literally, she'd be dead. Dead as a doornail. I'll throw in one of my own fuck-ups. The DM described a mystery and introduced an NPC that had pretty much gone mad trying to solve it. One entire wall of their living room was covered with pictures and theories, with red yarn connecting it all. In the center was a loose shoe picked up at one of the scenes. Me, channeling my Goliath barbarian bimbo, concluded that this shoe must belong to the perpetrator, and if we found its match, we'd find them. So she grabbed it. Later in the session, we came up to a shady magic item shop that disappears and appears semi-on command. My barbarian asked if there was an enchantment that could be put on the shoe to have it locate its pair. No problem. I was told to come pick it up the following day. Only problem was the shoe was the reddest of herrings, obviously. We solved the mystery the same night I placed the order. So I have a very expensive for this early in the campaign magical item that does, virtually nothing. Kind of cool though, never lose a shoe again. In a space game I did a few years back, my character, a rogue, tried to steal sniper ammo from an armory by swallowing it, Solid Snake style. Upon being questioned as he was leaving, my character rolled a nat 1 on deception and vomited up 2 dozen sniper rounds. I was given a chance to redeem myself and said, I'm a safety inspector, making sure people can't steal your stuff easily. Great job. And rolled a nat 20. I'm gonna need to keep these bullets though for research. And I got to keep them. I know it's not a super flashy dumb thing, and I'm sure tonight at 3 in the morning I'll think, oh, I should have said this other thing instead. But I had pockets and pouches and stuff. I still don't know why my method for stealing was to try and eat lead. Oh my god, the last bit made me almost die. Player here. A player in the party decided to spite me right before the big boss fight. DM wanted my character to be a mentor to the other one, a paladin, so I suggested that they didn't use up their spell slots all at once. They then proceeded to do so in the next 2 encounters. Every time they hit, they use their smites. Now we're in the boss fight and they have no resources left to use. Yeah, sucks for them. You don't have any resources to heal them. The party discovered that a particular hallway was very heavily trapped after some checks and logical deduction. Then decided to trigger the traps anyway, because they thought they'd get something out of it. I've never given them anything after triggering a trap, so I have no idea where they got that idea. This led to 2 of them getting captured, and after one botched an escape attempt, they both died. DM. Had a player successfully spot a glyph of warding trap "Avoid," said Trap, then almost kill his character by stepping on it. "For science!" DMing Fendelver, and the party is moving through the bandit overrun mansion with the express purpose of tracking down and capturing their wizard leader, Glassstaff. After a grueling dungeon crawl wherein every single NPC was hostile on sight, they managed to sneak up to the last room and kick the door down, revealing a surprised man in wizard's robes, holding up a staff of glass. The paladin asks him his name, and he replies, "My name is X, but many people call me Glassstaff. Glad to finally meet you heroes. You should..." And then the paladin says, "Ah, sorry, not who we were looking for. Keep an eye out for any evil wizards. This building isn't safe," and shuts the door. They decided to keep looking for the wizard elsewhere. Somehow, it took the entire party about 5 minutes to realize their mistake, during which I was too stunned to say anything. By the time they opened the door, said evil wizard had simply turned invisible and quietly walked out the back door. I still don't understand how this happened. I'm really confused. If they knew Glassstaff was the evil leader, then what? What happened? The DM gave us a couple of mirrors that our sponsor could use to communicate with us. He also said, when they're active, make sure one mirror does not show the other. We had two because our team usually split up. During one of these split-ups, I was down low, the others were up high. I was a thief searching for information in what should be an empty city. The others were trying to get a lay of the land from a tall building. At one point, we were talking to our sponsor when he asked, "Wait, is the thief by himself?" The ranger who had the mirror said, "Yeah, but we're keeping an eye on him, see?" And flipped the mirror towards me. Now, you'd think that from the top of a building, no big deal, right? The DM just went pale. He warned you. Honestly thought you were smarter than that. He grabs the bucket, trademarked, and proceeds to roll 20d6 damage. Then he scoops it back up and starts shaking it. We're all like, what? Before he rolls again. He describes the feeling of the mirrors pulling on each other as our realities twitch to connect the mirrors. We are impaled on an infinite amount of glass exploding. We all die. Violently. If such a thing existed, future explorers of that site would swear someone detonated a nuclear warhead. Have you not watched Ghostbusters? Don't cross the goddamn streams! Hey everyone, Brian Von VA here, back at it again, checking in after the vid. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and to ring that bell to get notified whenever we post or when we go live. But if you want to catch us ultra live, do so on our Twitch. And if you want 30 to 60 second clips of fun, check out our TikTok. It's really cool. Trust me, I love being on there. It's really fun. And if you have a story to submit to us, please do so on r/MrRipper. Links are in the description below. Now, if you want to come check out me, please do so on all of my social medias. Brian Von VA on YouTube, Twitch, Twitter. I love you guys. Come say hi. I want to meet my fans, damn it. That being said, I try to end things on a high note. I love hearing the dumb things that people do in games. I mean, think about life for a minute there, right? Just for a minute, think about your life. I know that sometimes it's really embarrassing to admit that you've done something completely irrationally stupid or irreversibly dumb, but really it's funny. And I want you to laugh at that. And I want you to know that it's, no matter how big your fuck up is, it's okay. It's funny. Don't let it get down. Don't let it hurt you. Don't let it abuse you for years to come. Just laugh. If you fall on your ass and make a dumbass out of yourself, cool. That's all right. 10 years, no one's going to remember, and if they do, laugh at it because it was funny. I've done a lot of stupid things in my time, and believe you me, if I ever see any of you guys on my stream or anything, I will tell you all the stupid, silly shit I've done because it's funny, and we all need to have a good laugh, right? So all the love, be safe, be happy, and remember, laugh a little. Life is too short, and you're worth more than that, so laugh, be happy, as best as you can. See you next time. Bye for now.